Morning, students. This is day 3 in the continuation of the civics chapter public facilities. We started the chapter, and in our previous classes we covered the topics like what is the meaning of public facility, what is the role of the government, what is the meaning of budget. We also did the water problem of Chennai related to the four cities. Then I also explained what are the sources of funds through which the government provide the public facilities to all, right? So today we are going to cover few more topics. Today we will analyze the case study of water problem in Chennai. Students, do you remember we on day 1 I explained to you the four cities Anna Nagar, Mylapore, Saidapet, Madipakkam. These were the four cities in Chennai which were facing the water problem. And in nutshell, today we will be analyzing the water problem of the Chennai by taking the concern of all those four cities. What is the conclusion of the water problem in Chennai by referring those four cities which I explained to you in day 1 class. Then second topic I will explain to you up to some extent the government is able to cover the water problem in India, and for that water departments are set up by the government, and up to some extent the government is able to solve the problem of the water shortage in India through the water departments. I will explain to you up to how much extent the government has got the success in this area. And lastly, we will cover the public transport as a public facility. I will tell you what is the situation of public transport in India, whether it is coping up with the demand of the increasing population or not, and if it is not coping up, then what are the alternatives in this direction to have the public facilities as a in the area of transportation, right? So let us start with our first topic, analysis of case study water supply in Chennai. So what is the conclusion we can draw looking at the case studies of the four cities of Chennai? See, municipal corporation up to some extent is solving the problem of the people, but not the problem of everyone in Chennai, right? The worst affected people in those cities are poor people only. So poor people are suffering very badly. As a alternative of solution to the water problem in Chennai, the private companies, the government has contracted with the private companies, but private companies are working for the profit concern only. No doubt the private companies are providing its services, are solving the problem of water shortage in Chennai, but the prices charged by the private companies for supplying the water are high, right? And ultimately, if government is giving the task to solve the water problem to the private companies, but ultimate responsibility of the will remain in the hands of, I told you, will remain in the hands of government only. So the particular case study is showing the total failure of Chennai government over there, right? Why it is considered as a total failure of the Chennai government? Because it is unable to provide the universal access to the water, water is not affordable. Moreover, water is not available to everyone, which was the first condition of the public facility provided by the government. And then If water is available, then for some people it is not affordable at all. So it is showing the total failure. This case study of Chennai is showing the total failure of the Chennai government, and it is not able to provide the universal access to the water. So I hope the case study of the four cities of Chennai related to the water problem, water shortage, is clear to all of you. Let us move towards our second topic, few cases of success in government water departments. So students, our next topic is related to success of water departments in India. Looking at the condition of the water problem in different areas of our country, the government has set up the water department, separate water departments to handle the water problems, because water is considered as a fundamental right under Article 21. So it is necessary, and it is the compulsory responsibility of the government to provide the water to everyone. So government, as a solution of that, government has set up the water departments in India. And in Mumbai, if we take the example of Mumbai, in Mumbai the government has collected enough money through the taxes to meet the expenses of supplying the water to Mumbai apartments, expenses of supplying water to Mumbai people, right? So government has come up with the solution in Mumbai by collecting the taxes, more taxes. The Mumbai government is able to meet the water requirements of the Mumbai people. Then same is the case with the Hyderabad. Another example we have in Hyderabad, the government is able to solve the water problem of the Hyderabad people with the help of revenue collection. Government has collected the revenue from the various resources over there in Hyderabad, and with the help of that collected revenue money, the Hyderabad government is able to cope up with the increasing demand of the water of the people residing in the Hyderabad. Another case we have over here is Chennai itself, since it is very important to discuss the Chennai water problem over here. So in Chennai also, the government came up with the idea of the rainwater or harvesting. Rainwater harvesting, because since it is a coastal area, so due to the heavy rains over there, so government came up with the idea of projecting with the rainwater harvesting technique. And with the help of rainwater harvesting, the government is collecting the rainwater and refining it, and again making it for the drinking purposes, to meet the demand of the people living in Chennai, making it for the drinking purposes. And in this way, the government came up with the solution through the various departments. So this was the total success of the various water departments set up by the government in India. And we studied the water department of Mumbai, we also studied the water department of Hyderabad, and then we also studied the water department of Chennai. And we came to know that in this way different departments are working to solve the problem of water shortages in the respective area. So in this way, the government is working with the help of government departments, right? So let us move towards our third topic, today's last topic, public transport. Students, when we talk about the public transport, immediately certain means of the transportation system comes in our mind, like buses, trains, railways, airways, right? No doubt right now the situation is different, but otherwise due to the COVID-19, all of you know, due to the COVID-19, there is a lockdown on all such type of services by the government to maintain the social distancing. But otherwise, the COVID-19 is not a normal situation, it is a abnormal situation. But otherwise, during the normal situation, the common people uses such type of means to move from one place to another place, and buses are very important means of transportation from one place to another place. If the distance is near about 100 kilometers, right? If the distance is more than 100 kilometer, then we prefer trains and the railway services. And if we are crossing one country to the another country, then we prefer this mean of transportation, airways, right? So in this particular topic, we are mainly focusing on the buses system. Students, all of you know that the buses system are very poor in India as far as the services of the bus system are concerned. The buses are overcrowded. Why the buses are overcrowded? Tell me, students. Yes, because of the increasing urbanization, because of the increasing urbani because of the increasing urbanization, because of the increasing population, the buses are overcrowded, and buses are not able to cope up with the demand of increasing demand of the population. Cope up the demand of increasing population, right? So as a alternate to the solution of the particular problem, the various other systems and in the form of projects have come up, like Government of India, especially in Delhi. The Delhi government came up with the idea of having the metro rail over there. And with the coming of the metro rail, the overcrowdedness and the rushes which was earlier in the bus system has now decreased. And with the metro rail service, the pollution also has decreased. You can know, I have sent you the video related to the metro rail, which is showing the benefits of the metro rail, right? So the pollution has decreased. Moreover, the noise pollution, the air pollution and the noise pollution, as well as the smoke in the area has decreased. Moreover, it leads to the time savage also. The people are now very efficiently utilizing their time, moving from one place to another place. Earlier it was very difficult for them to go to the nearby areas with by the bus system because of the overcrowdedness, because of the unavailability. So with the help of the metro rail, they are in Delhi, they are commuting from one place to another place very easily. They are saving their time, they are saving their money as well. They are saving their money as well. And no doubt, the metro rail project has decreased the pollution problem up to some extent in Delhi especially. And this is not the Delhi, even metro rail services very successfully it is running in Jaipur also, in Kolkata also, in Mumbai also. There are near about 10 states in India wherein the metro rail project is doing its work very efficiently. So I hope this topic is clear to you. The government has searched out various alternatives to solve the problem of the public transportation. And one more case is coming in my mind. In Mumbai, there is a suburban railway system, which is daily commuting the 65 lakhs people daily from the outskirt of the Mumbai to the into inside the Mumbai. The people are coming from the outskirt of the Mumbai area, and with the help of the suburban area, they are daily able to do their services in Mumbai. They are living outside the Mumbai. They are not able to live in Mumbai because the rents and the residential facilities living in Mumbai is very costly. So they are living in the outskirt of the Mumbai, where they can reside very easily. The rents are not so high. So on the daily basis, with the help of the suburban railway system, they can commute, they can come daily to the Mumbai, and they can go back to the residential areas. So in this way also the government came up with the solution of the public facilities, public transportation, and in this way the suburban railway system of the Mumbai is working very efficiently over there. So that's all about the today's topic. I hope the three topics which I had covered with you are clear to you. We will cover further topics in our next class. Till then, take care. Bye bye.